Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Blindfolded Speedrun News. Today we have the month of June and many incredibly cool runs to see again. Let's start right into it with Serpent, who managed to beat Pokemon Gold any percent NSC, which stands for No Save Corruption, blindfolded. This is an incredibly cool run and it uses basically really crazy glitches to get to the credits at the very end, but as the name says, no save corruption, there are usually even crazier glitches in which you can go to the credits like directly, but this category actually beats the first arena of the game, then collect some important items and checks, and then you input some basically program code into the names of the Pokemon storage boxes, and with this written code you can actually warp to the credits afterwards. So Serpent said the run has still some mistakes and he would like to improve it more, but the hardest part of it is the sheer memorization of it, because in the naming sequence of the code you have to input around 200 characters blindfolded with just pure memorization. There is no visuals to refer to whatsoever. So this is a very, very difficult part of it, and what can now be still improved is definitely movement. But Serpent also said that he wants to move on to some other blindfolded projects already because he has many plans, which is super exciting to hear. I wish definitely all the best for all these projects. Next up, we have a new world record in Minecraft set seed any percent blindfolded. Pufferfish King has beaten Saver's old world record by a few minutes, and it's incredible to see because this run was already pretty optimized, but it was still pushed further down now. Now Minecraft is an incredibly unforgiving and super difficult game to blindfolded speedrun, because there is basically no room for backups. Every mistake you make is fatal. You will literally lose the run if you make a single missed input. Like, for example, I heard that you are at the very last boss fight at the Ender Dragon, only to find out that 15 minutes earlier you mismenued and didn't buy arrows and the run is over. So it's a very brutal run and it's very incredible to see that the time could still get pushed so low. I definitely highly recommend to check it out if you're into Minecraft. It's super cool, it's super fun to watch. Big GGs and really happy to see this. Then we have our regular participant in the show, Handy, with Super Mario 64 16 star. Now Handy was on a crazy roll this month and managed to PB 3 times, earning himself a time of 24:52 from his previous PB 27:34. So he pushed his PB quite a bit down. Now what is really impressive about this is that he managed to PB 3 days in a row, back to back to back. Now that is crazy in such an optimized speedrun already. Handy is getting very close to the world record now too. His sum of best is already far below that, so it's honestly just a matter of time until it happens now. That's why it is incredibly exciting to see these days what is up with SM64. I myself also joined this world record grind and optimized a few things and relearned all the strats already, so probably from next month I will grind this too. Big shoutouts to Handy though for motivating me and other people to give their best in their speed games and to show that you can improve by practice and just get there when you want it really much. So big GG and thank you to Handy, he is a legend. Next, I want to shortly introduce a few IL or individual level runs that have been done blindfolded this month. First of all, we have Nex, who has been routing blindfolded New Super Mario Bros. Wii. And Nex has already finished the whole World 1, like a single segment speedrun of the World 1, and is currently routing further ILs in the game. Currently, it seems that the hardest stage is World 5, Stage 4, because there's a lot of precise beat counting needed and not much room for normalization. Still, they are planning to eventually do a full game run in the future, which is incredibly exciting to see in my opinion. Big good luck with that. Then we have our veteran Sonic speedrunner Atsure Kirby. He managed to beat a few more stages in Sonic Adventures blindfolded, namely Emerald Coast and Windy Valley, I believe it is called. Atsure Kirby also thinks a full run of Sonic Adventures would be possible, though there are some rather tedious sections in level 4 and 5. so he doesn't know if he wants to grind it himself that much. Fun fact about this is that in Emerald Coast, in the first section of the level, you have only 2 instances where you have to press anything other than up. So maybe the meme about Sonic games can be beaten with just straight holding up is true after all. Who knows? Besides that, we also have super crazy IL completions of the rhythm game A Dance of Fire and Ice by Oatmeal. Oatmeal managed to beat 2 levels in the newly released DLC, which features incredibly difficult levels, as you can see right here. You basically need to know the entire song by heart, know which notes to press when, and it's just incredible to see these crazy challenges that are even visually super difficult being done blindfolded. I really like this kind of challenge. This is a really cool thing to see. Last but not least, we have a super cool and exciting new game with the IL Hell on Earth of the game Doom Eternal. Calderino Ferros managed to beat this IL in around half an hour, and it features incredibly cool first-person shooting, many fight segments. There are skips in which you, for example, use a Void Warp to reposition yourself and then do a damage boost jump to get into another section that you usually would not reach. So there's incredible movement going on and really exciting to see more first-person shooters in Blindfolded. These are pretty rare, I would say. Let us jump back a bit to full game runs now. We have Bomb Happy, who managed to improve his Blindfolded any % time for Kirby and the Forgotten Land by quite a bit. And by quite a bit I mean multiple hours actually. Bomb Happy has been optimizing the route quite a bit, started a document on all his inputs to make memorization easier, and now tries to grind for probably a sub 5-hour run. The things that can now be improved is some better movement and better normalization methods, as well as the usage of a notched controller to make straight angles more consistent. I'm really happy to see where this goes. As I said already last episode, a new game that freshly released is always extremely cool to see blindfolded. Then we have a huge section of Breath of the Wild speedruns out here. First of all, Mariana, who was also featured in last episode, finally managed to beat a full any % run blindfolded. That makes him the second person to beat any % and with a really good time too. The grind for a better time is still going on, though I have to say there's a bit of hesitation right now going on, because I myself also have joined the grind for Breath of the Wild speedruns blindfolded. And I personally started first with Great Plateau, which is the first half any %, rerouted everything and optimized everything, mostly with the usage of a notched controller. And I beat the old world record of Great Plateau by around 6 to 7 minutes, so that's a big chunk of time. Then after that, also Saver, the current any % world record holder, decided to go back to Breath of the Wild. And he took the new optimizations and improved Great Plateau by yet another, I think, 6 to 7 minutes. Now, because we have figured out that notched controllers are such a difference in time, we actually will now split the categories probably into notched versus non-notched. So we have more accessibility for people who do not have access to notched controllers, like a GameCube one, for example. I myself am currently very close to also finishing routing and optimizing the full any % run. I only have the last boss left at the moment of this video. And I believe Saver as well as Mariana want to join a notched controller any % run too. Though I believe Mariana is also still grinding non-notched categories right now. So there's lots going on in Breath of the Wild. It's super exciting. It's always much more fun when so many people are working on one game, because you can share the strats, you can talk about it, always theorize and stuff. It is really incredibly cool to see. Besides that, Saver also has done a kind of meme category, which is a really great speedrun to get into Breath of the Wild, called Go Home and Die %. Basically what you do is get a flame or a torch, go back where Link awakens after the first cutscene, and die. It's a pretty fun category, but it teaches you all the basics of blindfolded movement and normalization in Breath of the Wild, so I can highly recommend it to new players who want to start something blindfolded but are too intimidated by yet a full run of this game. To quickly continue with myself, I also have done a blindfolded speedrun of Ring Fit Adventure World 1 Intensity 30, and I beat the previous record by 1 or 2 minutes with that. Ring Fit Adventure is a sports game with many RPG elements. So there are incredibly cool movements and boss fight strategies and speedrun skips, etc. in it. For Blindfolded, it has also a lot of beat counting, on top of crazy, difficult and hard workout. You really get sweating with this one, especially on intensity 30, which is the highest difficulty. I made a commentated video about my run on my YouTube channel, so if you have some time, please go ahead and check it out. Before we come to the end of this episode, I quickly want to introduce a very short run that has been done this month from the game Hon Shogi Nai Tokudan Shogi Hiden by Ifuro. This is basically the Japanese version of chess called Shogi in a computer form, so you play against AIs, and the goal of this blindfolded speedrun is to just win one match. And Ifuro has done exactly that. He sat down and beat an AI while blindfolded. Now, I cannot tell you much about the techniques used in this one. I don't really know if there is RNG manipulation involved or if you can somehow predict what the AI is gonna do. But still, it is super cool to see this kind of unconventional speedruns being done blindfolded too. Like, blindfolded chess is a thing I know in real life, but if you translate this in combination with blindfolded speedrunning, it makes things very interesting, I believe. Then, last but not least, we have a huge new any percent run of Wario Land 3 by Dolleman. This came out of nowhere for many of us, and it is an incredibly cool 2D platformer speedrun with incredibly cool techniques and movements in this game. The Wario Land series is very unique for Blindfolded, as for a 2D platformer it has many normalized movement techniques and options, for example the dash of Wario. And it also has techniques like, for example, resetting music cycles with safe quitting inside the menu and reloading, which you can do anywhere in the stage. So it offers many techniques, and Dolleman used all of this to make this any percent run possible. I heard that he spent around 2 months routing and practicing for this run. 6 months went into practicing, routing, strategizing all the stages one by one, getting basically each level first done once to see if it's possible or not, and then 2 more focused weeks of just practiced and segmented portions of the run to get this like final practice in before the real attempt. Big congratulations, especially from myself, as I have run Wario Land 2 in the past, which is only a tiny portion, it's 15 minutes long, but it involves the same game engine, the same movements, so for me this was very heartwarming to see Wario Land 3 being done. Really excited about this one. Please go ahead and check it out. It's a really cool run. And with that, this month's episode of Blindfolded Speedrun News is also over again. As always, I want to thank you, and please go ahead, check out the runners and their videos. They are all putting incredible work into these runs, using lots of effort in their free time for it. So go ahead, leave them a like, leave them a comment, and if you are interested in more Blindfolded Speedrun News for next month, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, as I will post these regularly here. Also, let me know in the comments which run you like the most, as always. And with that, I will leave you and say goodbye. My name is Bubzia, this was Blindfolded Speedrun News of June, and see you next month again. Bye bye. Hey, if you like this video, please consider supporting me over at Patreon. I have many cool perks about blindfolded gaming that you might be interested in. This video was sponsored by VR4300, ZXMany, Funkylicious, Boris, Bob Farrell, Benlitz, Nex, and many more. Thank you so much for all the support.